Hey y'all, it's Queen Year, the quintessential entrepreneur, Riverside RV housewife of YouTube Terra. Y'all know what it is. It's another day. I'm having no clue what my reading's about to be about. Oh, actually, somebody asked me to do a reading for them, so I think I just want to do that reading today right now. So my Facebook friend Brittany asked me to do a reading for her, so I'm gonna do the reading by request. I'm doing a requested video today. Thank you, angels and guides, for being here with us today. You give me the messages that have been requested to receive. Wow. The High Priestess. Okay. Wow, I actually see, okay, you are being guided to be optimistic at this time. So pretty much, like, you're being led to actually seek guidance and, like, disregard things that aren't in alignment with your desired future. High Priestess. When you go toward the castle, like, so to speak, it'll bring you more into, like, it'll be more becoming of you to go toward your, like, your fairy tale, or to seek guidance. You know how they say, take the good from a thing. So if you have, like, learned something recently or something, it's like, take the good from a thing, and then you may be able to build off of, like, the goodness of it, or what did you learn, or what thing. Focus on what thing was good about something that you liked. Don't focus on what you didn't like, because you can co-create with the universe, or you can co-create with God, and, like, create a new life based on the goodness of whatever you're experiencing. Whatever your experience is, just focus on the good parts of it, and create with the good of it. Okay. And that way you'll be tapping into, like, wisdom and knowledge. And I think that is, like, a part of wisdom. I was reading the Bible. I think it might have been, like, yes, somewhere in the Bible it was talking about, like, how it is when you use wisdom, and it basically says that, like, you know, whatever you go through, take the good and create with the good, or something like that. Okay, and let's see what else. I don't know. I'm hearing faucet. So something about a faucet. Okay. It looks like someone wants to come and fix your faucet. The Hierophant with the Temperance. Someone could have, like, replaced your faucet, or they are going to replace your faucet. Take it as it resonates. It may or may not be an actual faucet. It could be that someone makes you like scream with excitement, you know, like something really good happens, you get excited, you scream, or something like that. So the energy here is about giving your problems to God, or something like that, or just keeping in your feminine energy as much as possible, like just being as soft as you can possibly be throughout whatever you're going through. And like the Hierophant, it like will find you. The Hierophant like is going to find you and like help you to be like even softer. It's like our last video, or the previous video was about like falling in love in a healthy way by just only allowing someone to be a part of your life who is actually like able to do that. Like someone who's gonna bring out the softness in you instead of like someone who's going to be like you know, like say for example, if it's love or whatever, because it's just the easiest example. If you're the feminine energy, and then you should be in the receiving position. If someone comes to you and they are wanting to be in the receiving position, then it's like, look at it as if they are trying to take your feminine energy, but you have to keep your feminine energy. You can't give your feminine energy. it's almost as if someone sees you like in your like you seem like you have everything together with the high priestess here. It seems like you have everything together, and so someone comes along, they're like, well, well, she seems comfortable, maybe she has enough for me too. You really can't let it's not practical, because that's not again, like, you don't need to be overly aware of someone's entering your life or something like that. Like, it needs to almost be like, yeah, like like falling in love. You want to be whisked away. You want to be whisked away. If you want someone to kind of like sweep you off your feet. Because it's like, sometimes if you have like responsibilities or whatever, and you're like handling your responsibilities, someone who doesn't know, the cost of what it is for you to, keep your things together, they may or may not value it properly. But whether or not they value it, they still need to like bring to you as in a masculine energy, so that you can keep your femininity. It almost seems like in the depiction here, it's like she's using her wisdom as to like what she will and won't like let in, like she is her own keeper or something like that, using her her intuition. Whereas in this depiction, you see, it's more so like a who was that with Boaz? Ruth and Boaz, where she was kind of like working, doing her own very little things. Bless you, Joey. Okay, it's like you want to keep your energy as light as possible. Even if you do have responsibilities, put all your energy into yourself. Like, you can't give your energy like to someone else. You just keep it all for yourself. Keep all your energy for yourself if you're the feminine energy here. That way you can get into your routine, so that pretty much every day will be like clockwork. You want all your everyday to be like clockwork, to the point where you're just floating through the day, no matter how many things that you may have to like accomplish any day, whatever your tasks are. You want to kind of float or glide through it, like clockwork, like, until like your Boaz spots you, and then it's like his representative, how he's coming, he has like everything that you need. Like, he can afford a family. He knows what to do with the family. So And there's compatibility here. You're compatible with someone. Because when you are physically compatible, you know, and then that's good. Yeah, and I'm also seeing about like the love being more pure that way. And like, you know, someone who has a pure perspective of love, you know, should be like the one who you would give your love to. Because if someone, if you're too aware of someone's presence due to like neediness or like a masculine energy can be draining if it's not healthy. So you need someone who will like feel you, put energy back into you. I see someone putting energy into you, you know, like someone has energy for you, or like to give you. Someone's giving toward you. Or this could be who is entering your life, someone who is giving toward you. And that way you can actually fall in love, like how it is whenever you're like falling in love with someone. It shouldn't feel like you know, anxiety or like an extra responsibility. You know, it should feel like healthy. Like it should feel like you're being saved by God. You know, something that you would thank God for. So it don't need to add any extra worry or extra anxiety, because it could be that, you know, you're focused on yourself, and honestly that's, you know, you don't need any extra like worry. You know, you only need someone who's gonna come along and give to you and make your life better. Maybe they can provide. See, this is the energy of a provider. And we have here the energy of someone, you know, who is pure and has self-value, who is waiting for her provider while focusing on herself. So someone is going to come along who is actually a provider. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying like a love reading where someone is going to enter your life who is a provider. You may have like other options, but you'll know the one that it'll be best with, because they will provide for you in a healthy way. Like it'll be like them picking you up in their vehicle and, you know, paying the tab, and they will speak lovingly toward you, you know. And them entering your life will like level you up, because two people being together should be a level up, and like it should be a level up from you being you know, alone or whatever. So okay, excellent. because here is more of the energy of like not someone. So if you're working like, you know, your job, like it's probably, you probably shouldn't be there like hoping that you know, can find someone. It's more so you're just being a fairy doing your job, you know, being the light of wherever you are, and then someone comes along who sees you. Okay, well, they don't want you because you seem stable and this and that, but because you are in alignment with your divine guidance, someone does come along and they meet you and they see you. But I also see that like there will be signs, or there's gonna be signs. You will like it. I don't know if y'all will have on like matching outfits, or if you're wearing uniform. It'll be something about them that will be a sign to you that like they want you to know that they're a provider, and like that they're sent from God to like provide for you. Or you could have dreams in your sleep, or if you begin seeing like the same colors everywhere, or the same numbers, or the same letters, or something like that, it could be that God is like almost like intellectually microdosing you, or spiritually microdosing you in preparation of your divine counterpart. Something like that. It's like God's gonna lead you to him, and he can be somebody that you can thank God for. Okay. I think that this is like also, you know, it's like avoiding manifesting from like desperation, and manifesting from your higher self. Like, so putting all your energy into the best you that you want to be, so that by the time somebody comes along, you're your best self. That way you are on the highest level of self that you can possibly be. And then when you find someone who can provide for you and level you up, then that's when you're stepping into your true higher self. Like, because somebody said that well, they pretty much said that, you know, God can do exceedingly abundantly and above all you could ever ask or even think to ask. So, but the way that they said it is that, oh my goodness, I'm actually seeing this right now. As high as you can think, the ceiling to where, the ceiling to the highest of what you can think, that is your highest self, is actually the floor of your higher self. It's actually the floor of your higher self. So like, it would be like, you know, so then you're operating from your higher self, and then you go higher and higher from there. Say, for example, if you are operating from your higher self and then a provider comes along, your life only gets better from there, type of situation, whatever. But that's what somebody said. And I was like, wow, that resonated so much with me. So this is about alchemizing through love, self-love, and then self-love and then true love, or something like that. Or if we are taking it as it resonates, and it's not like a love, if it's employment, then like you can like accept the job, but like if a better offer comes along, accept it, because a better offer could actually be entering your life. Also with the high priestess, I would look into resources and do like some paperwork. It could be paperwork, it could be like your W-2 or something like that. You could file your taxes or something like that. Oh yeah. Okay, 7 of coin. It looks like love is sprouting or something like that. And if you're worried about like how you look at work, at your job, you look cute, like okay, so yeah, you look cute. And like there's just like an ever so slight difference of like your energy. It's like you want someone who like will give to you to the point of where you are where you're giving from an overflow, because otherwise someone's going to like drain your energy, or like it's almost an energy here. It's like, it's not that it just wouldn't work. It would work if you like, if you wanted it to, but it's just like, if someone like is constantly draining you, then you would have to constantly make up for it, or like overcompensate for someone. So if you already have children, then you wouldn't want to be overcompensating for like anyone else besides your children. What's this say? Because you don't want someone like watching you do things by yourself. Or it's like the energy of like plants that grow naturally, like cacti. You know, they are an easy plant you know, they can like withstand the desert and stuff like that. But like, you don't want someone to see you like as a cactus or something like that. So like, if like it's almost like you have to it's almost like you have to dispel the fear, because like the Bible says, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. You can't be like afraid to lose people out your life or something like that. You have to just have total and complete trust in God, because like, if people think that like you're afraid of something, then they, you know, that's when manipulation gets involved, and it's difficult to manifest out of fear and desperation something good. I mean, it's possible, but it's gonna be it. But it's like, you know, it's almost like the energy of like, you don't want to have to go and get your water. Like, you don't want to have to like go to a river, you know, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, like something like that. You know, you don't want to have to go up a hill to get some water. You know what I mean? And then bring it back to water these plants. You know, you kind of want to be like by the water, or connected to the water, to where you can just, you know, I feel that the Hierophant is the energy of, you know, you're on the water, you're by the water. Someone can pour into you. Someone can easily pour into you because they just have the means, you know. Like, the way it is in life, honestly, it really has nothing to do with like looks or anything like that, or like even, you know, the amount of money that somebody has. Really, it's all about the perspective of how someone is, and it's about your perspective too. If you count someone who cannot provide for you as just not an option, you know, and then they're just not an option, you won't have to deal with the Seven of Pentacles energy. Well, you may have to deal with the Seven of Pentacles energy, but it's not because you're trying to deal with a Five of Cups situation, you know. It'll just be because you know, pretty much, if you're gonna have the seven of Pentacles or the Seven of Coin energy, you can have the Seven of Coin energy by yourself and just like focus on becoming the Temperance however you can. You know, if it feels like the Seven of Coin, well, then you can focus on being the High Priestess, and, you know, keeping your things together, keeping your to-do list done and everything. And like, it's cool if somebody wants to like go out for dinner, if they offer, and like, you know, get your tab or something like that. But like, if it's not like that, you know, then I would just like, you can keep to yourself. That way you can be the high priestess energy, keep your to-do list done, be the best you that you can be, and work on getting your routine down to a science, to where now you have become the temperance. You want to get your routine down to a science, to the point where you become the temperance. Because we're trying to tap into our higher selves. So if you get your routine down to a science, then it'll feel like you're just doing it on clockwork. You're just floating through your day. No matter how many things, if you practice every day, being ahead of yourself, you know, I like to do alarms on my phone that go off, and they tell me my time slots of like what I have to do right now. If I don't want to keep flipping through my journal or something like that, I can just put the alarms on my phone, like, you know, at this time to this time it's most efficient and most ideal for me to do this with my time, do that, da da da. And you practice that every single day, every day. The more you focus on it, the more it'll be like clockwork. Then you'll begin to float through your day, because your subconscious mind will just tilt, and then you'll get into like muscle memory, stuff like that. And then once you get to the point where you're at your higher self, which is the floor to your highest self, once you get to the point where you are your higher self, that's when like you would naturally call in a love that is like on your level, or who is like naturally like compatible for you, to where it'll be more of like a page of cups. Now you're in more of like a major arcana energy of the love. I mean, obviously it's just like major arcana love. That way it can be like you can make more major moves, stuff like that, like, you know, less confined. So because if someone is in your life who is not the Hierophant, if someone's in your life who's not the Hierophant, then you'll just be at the 7 of coin energy, and what you want is for it to be conducive for the Hierophant to enter your life. You want it to be easy for the Hierophant to enter your life. So I'm not saying like we're not saying like reject love. So we're not rejecting love, but you can reject being drained of your love. Like, you can welcome love, and then if something is offering to take from you or make you work harder or something like that, then that's not. And I think we're talking about authenticity. Authenticity is responding accurately to how you're feeling. So if a situation arises and someone's like, would you like to do something that you don't want to do right now? You just say, no, I don't want to do that right now. You know what I mean? You know, and then if someone offers you to do something that you actually want to do, then you say, yes, I would like to do that. That's something that I want to do. Because if you operate through authenticity, then the universe can bring you something that you will actually like or genuinely like. And it'll be aligned to who you are. then you'll feel good and free and light and filled and more overflowing with gratitude. You know, you'll have more joy, more joyous experiences. You'll have more joyous experiences. Okay. Well, because yeah, it's about experience with the person. You know, you think of it as you only want to experience, like, especially if you're a feminine energy, or if you're a woman, then you want to have good experiences. You know, that's natural, and you know, like, expected. It's expected for a woman to want to have joyous experiences. I mean, really, there's a quote that is just has been out, you know, for ever since I could remember. Girls just want to have fun. So if someone's offering to be yet an extra responsibility on you, then obviously you say no. You know, say something like, I'd rather have fun, or, you know, when it's more fun for me to do something, like, you know, or when you can make that experience more fun for me, then, you know, yes, or whatever. Because you don't want your calendar filled with experiences that aren't fun, if like that, if it doesn't have to be, something like that. Okay, and then that way your calendar's more free for things that are fun and that you actually want to say yes to. Okay. And like, yes, the universe, like, will give you that. I mean, honestly, what are the odds of me pulling two cards with like a V, marked with a V? So also, both these cards have a T on them too. Every card doesn't start with the. So it just so happened that the Temperance is here. Oh my goodness. So I mean, if you think about it, like, there are, you know, these two compatible cards came out of a stack this thick. So so you know, what are the odds of that? The same way, you know, God can bring you like true love. I think this is just about like trusting the universe. I just heard, in God we trust. Trusting in God to bring you like what you need, or what you want, or what would make you happy, what would make you fulfilled, what would be most beneficial for you. You can trust God to bring you that. And this could also be about you being, and like, being connected to God, so you're going to connect yourself to a higher power, a higher source. It's going to suck you into a vortex where it elevates the total vibrational frequency of your life. So you will go through a complete and total life upgrade, is what I'm seeing here. And I'm also hearing that, like, you are more than enough. Like, you are beyond enough. You know, if you're like self-conscious or anything like that, you look beautiful, you look cute, and you know, you are, you know, worthy of love, obviously. But if you tap into source, it'll just suck you into a vortex that'll just raise your vibrational frequency. It's all about your mental or your intellectual perspective. You know, it's like having your life down to a science, to where you almost go into like a robotic space that, because you're floating above, you're floating into your higher self. So when you get your routine down to a science, you have more spiritual and subconscious space to float into a higher frequency. That's when you'll be sucked into the vortex that'll just really love will do that. A healthy love, a God-given love. It'll just suck you up, and before you know it, you know, your love has become the Page of Cups. And see, that's how it feels to like float in love, you know, float into love, or be swept off your feet, or be whisked away. You know, you don't want it to feel like a strained extra responsibility. You're operating out of fear because you don't know if no. You have to be confident that God is going to bring you exactly what you need to be brought. Like, God knows, and God knows you. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I see you. Definitely, you're in the Nine of Pentacles energy. Oh my goodness, that just actually, this is double confirmation. Like, this is so much confirmation that, like, a really strong, stable, divine love is entering your life here. Look at here. Look here. The Nine of Pentacles, she's here with the Parrot, and the Page of Cups here with the fish. So I see you are actually in a nine of coin energy, which, like, you are self-sufficient. You know, you could have children, definitely, with the Nine of Coin. Also the Page of Cups. I mean, it's possible that you have children. My parrot always knows how to brighten my day. Such a great listener, best friend, joyful moments. Yeah. So, like, if you want to feel love, you can always love on your babies. Say, for example, your provider does, you know, enter your life. He may not be like consistently available. You know, if you know what I mean by consistently. It may not be consistently available, you know, due to being the provider. Like, so for example, if your provider like has a busy schedule, or if he just works extensive hours or something like that, then you have your children, you know, to love and to keep you company, and you know, teach them new things. That's when you can settle into the joy of life, and just revel in the joy of parenting and self-love. So if you want to learn like new things, like about makeup, if you want to pick up a trade, if you want to just keep sexy for your provider, you know, like keep your hair done, you know, your nails and toes done, your makeup done, experience new, like, shopping lingerie, you know, new music, new outfits, go deeper into your identity, teach your children more, teach your children, especially if you have children, it kind of frees up a lot of space for you to pour into your children, or for you to love on your children. You know, I always talk about, like, you know, if you pack a lunch, you know, pack snacks, help with homework, studying for quizzes, cleaning time, instilling, you know, wholesome values, you know, studying something new, could be, you know, the Bible, learning who you want to identify as, and, you know, teaching your children who they ought to be. And it's just cooking, learning how to cook, learning new recipes, you know. But keeping a house going like clockwork, it takes energy anyways to do that, especially if you're like a housewife type or something like that, who wants to have the house clean and dinner ready by the time, you know, your provider gets home or something like that, you know. But I see that you have like a strong masculine energy entering your life, or there for you, or something like that. The Hierophant, it could be your husband or your future husband. So we are only allowing someone to overflow our cup. So we're making healthy choices. But I just see that as a confirmation that God will bring you the person who is supposed to be in your life. Or if you're wondering about somebody in your life, like, yes, like, you should be with the love that is healthy, you know, not a mysterious love, you know. It's about perspective. Like, if a masculine figure is cool with being a provider, if they were just taught like any traditional values that have stood the test of times for hundreds and thousands of years. I mean, just think about that. Like, the Bible has been around since forever, since before most of us were born. Most of us on earth now, since before most of us were even born, the Bible has been around. If somebody can like disregard that, I mean, that's not a reflection on you, is what I'm saying. So you might as well I'm speaking to me too. So you might as well just be authentic. And if it's an experience that you'd rather not have, then reject it. If it's an experience that you do want, that you would love to have, then go into more of the loving, more exciting experiences that you would like to have. It'll just bring you more loving, more exciting experiences. So that'll, more rain, less drain. You know what I mean? Something like that. Oh. Okay. That kind of makes me want to see what would come out if that makes me want to see what would come out if I they say that power corrupts, but for me it's the sugar rush from my favorite dessert that really gets me going. Sugar high, emperor mode. Yeah, the emperor. What I'm getting, honestly, is just like you're being guided to be authentic to the experiences that you would like to have. If somebody comes at you like, hey, I don't have a car. Can you arrange the way you're doing things to fit me into your life so I can use your car or something like that? It's just like, that sounds like too much responsibility, if you're a feminine energy. That's not the kind of, you don't even, like that's how you know that you got to go into beekeeping energy. Be like, that experience doesn't sound like much fun for me. So the cards are just like, yeah, we just want to take the emperor energy, the hierophant type energy, because obviously God can bring you this energy. It's like God is kind of like drilling that point home. Again, we have confirmation that like we're leaning into the healthy energy. And it's so funny because sometimes I go like on like little venting rants of like less desirable experiences and like all the what not to look fors and stuff like that. But this reading is more so harping on what to look for. What, we're actually looking at green flags. So we're actually just only accepting green flags. So, Emperor energy, green flag. Self-love, self-respect, green flag. Taking care of your children and not letting someone drag you down, getting on top of your routine and to where you can float like clockwork, green flag. Valuing yourself and your feminine energy, green flag. You know what I mean? Okay. Because I pull this energy Like, I feel like if somebody's stingy, you can't work with them. Like, they could like, say for example, even if someone like does have money and it's like potential is just that, potential to things, energy that potential energy is energy that has not been tapped into yet. Say for example, if there is a ball, just the easiest example of potential energy. Potential energy is like, I know that there's like potential energy or kinetic energy and whatnot, but if a ball is still, then it is a still ball. If I roll that ball, it has the potential to hit a wall or whatever. But if I don't, okay. Well, depending on where I am, I don't know what kind of ball it is. It could be a bowling ball. It could be a wooden ball. It could be a rubber ball. It could be a bouncy ball. You know, like, the ball could be heavy, it could be light. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really it's almost like you can't judge someone based on their potential. You can only judge them based on what you can only judge them based on the reality of what they're showing you. So you know, if someone is not giving, or you know, they don't, it's almost like, if you are a feminine energy and like there's a masculine energy who is like insistent on you doing your part or something like that, like you don't know why they are like that, but you know what I'm saying. Also too, there are people in this world who get jobs and they don't think about being there for their lady or seeing what their woman wants or needs. You know, they get their extra money, they do whatever the flip that they want to do with their extra money, and they wouldn't consider you. You know what I mean? And they can say all day, oh, when I get some extra money, you know, I'm gonna be there for you, finally. You don't know if they would do that or not. All you know is, for whatever reason, they don't have any extra money to give you. Okay, well, treat them like they don't have any extra money to give you. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Or whatever like that. You know, obviously, if it's someone and they, you know, they have a job and this and that, and you're trying to see how you can make them generous toward you, even if you were to figure out how to make them generous toward you, if they are stingy at heart and they just aren't the kind of person who would consider their woman, it would be like, say for example, if you played the pull away game, they might become more generous to get you back. But if they feel like that they got you, then they might revert back to being stingy. What is a lot easier energy to manifest with, or to quantum jump with, is the energy of the Hierophant, or an emperor. Someone who is not trying to defy the Bible. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, stinginess is literally unbiblical. It's just like somebody being an uncircumcised Philistine. You know, it's just like, if you can defy the Bible, or if you can ignore the Bible, I mean, traditional values come from the Bible. Obviously, since the beginning of time, the man has to be the provider, and he has to take care of his woman's wants and needs as to not diminish her quality of life. If a man can completely ignore that, that's been all in his face since he was conceived in the womb. He's known that men provide and women receive. If he can ignore that and treat you like you're supposed to have something to bring to the table, you know what I'm saying? Then he might be a bowling ball. You might not want to be trying to roll that one to see how quick it'll hit the wall or something like that. You might not want to see how far you can roll that ball. You know, probably dang sure wouldn't want to try to roll it up a hill. Some balls you can roll up a hill. You wouldn't want to try to roll that one up a hill. So it's just okay. And if we're talking about energy, if someone has a stingy energy, then it's just difficult to quantum jump with that kind of person. That's when you get like, I don't know, like seven of coin energy. It'll be almost like watching paint dry. Like, that's almost like like the idea of standing there watching plants grow. It's just like, so I guess it's more like an energy of stagnancy. Like, you know, whereas it's just much easier to just go ahead and quantum jump with someone who's not trying to go against the Bible. Someone who can, if somebody can follow God, if someone has God within them, if someone is in their higher God frequency, if they are in their God frequency, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to quantum jump with someone who is in their God frequency, like have it within them. Not someone who is looking up to the sky, you know, like treating God as if God is not within them. Like, God is within you. God is inside you. God gave us our air in our lungs. So, you know, that's just like almost like the energy of someone always playing woe is me. Like, oh, because that person did me wrong, that's why I can't work, or because somebody else, you know, treated me bad, that's why I'm not financially responsible. That's why I don't have a savings account. That's why I don't treat people well, or it's why I'm not generous. You know, someone trying to find excuses as to not be a good person. It's just like that's almost like someone avoiding accountability. It's always somebody else's fault, or if somebody else would help me, or if somebody else would do this for me, you know. And then that's when you tap into those not like you know, the energies that you don't want around you. Because if somebody can avoid their own accountability and blame everything that goes on in their life on somebody else, then they'll feel like that means that they genuinely feel that other people should be responsible for them. And then that's when you get that taker energy, and you don't want to deal with somebody who is a taker, you know, because they feel that other people should be responsible for them, because at that point you would be enabling them. And so if somebody's stingy, just like let them be stingy by themselves. Like, obviously they want to do the bare minimum or really not help you that much. Well, then it seems like you can do that by yourself. Okay, that way you will have room for your Hierophant Emperor to come in, and then by the time he finds you, you're over here like this, and you don't have like your defenses up, like, oh well, you know, do I have to guard myself against you or anything? You know what I mean? You'll be more so like, I'm only accepting experiences that are joyous, that I would like to have, you know. And then somebody will see you, it'll be lighthearted. It's like lighthearted energy. Yeah, because it's really good to have different things to talk to. Like, say for example, if someone that you like, who actually is a provider, who, you know, takes you out on dates or whatever, or has the potential to do that, if they text you what you're doing, and every time they text you, you're like, oh, well, just sitting around, sitting down, whatever. You know, it's actually kind of fun to have something that you're saying that you're doing, you know. Like, if you are working at Super One or something like that, somebody's like, you know, what are you doing? Oh, I'm stocking wine right now. Okay, you know, if they text you later on, like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just hopping in my car, I'm driving home, thinking about what I'm gonna cook for the kids, you know, tonight. Oh, what'd you end up cooking? Oh, I made them some pasta, some veggie pasta or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a better energy, like, to meet someone, to quantum jump into a healthy love with. You know, I just said that because it seems like there are children here in the reading. Like, you obviously got at least one child, could be 2 or 4 or something like that. But somebody might like to watch movies on Tubi or something like that. Or someone wants to be there for you. Or someone wants to provide for you. You want the energy of someone who's like gonna come in and be daddy for real. So, was there? Oh, so yeah, it was just like, I feel like it's like, I feel like through seeing the depictions like this, your subconscious mind will be more heightened, when you see the interactions of the energies that you're dealing with, like, but authenticity is the best energy to quantum jump with. Authenticity, because then you'll get an experience that you actually and genuinely like. That's you telling the universe what you do and don't like. Also, someone will be like reliable, or not reliable, but they will, you'll notice that they'll be frequently like communicating with you, stuff like that. You know, they'll make an effort to see you and to show you that, like, they like you. So see, if you're like a feminine energy, put all your effort into yourself so that you can become your most high, your highest self, or so that you can float into your higher self. Your energy should just get lighter and lighter and lighter, because you are becoming more and more like familiar with yourself, with your routine, with your daily activities, and you're so familiar with it that you just begin to float into your highest self. Like, you want to know everything about you. You want to know everything about you, you know, because really you want to be self-centered. If you're a woman, definitely want to be focused on yourself. Okay, thank you, angels and guides, for being here with us during this reading. What messages do you have for us today? Oh! We have the rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacle. Oh my goodness. Like, our guides are insistent upon the fact that, like, God is sending you a provider. Like, God is sending you a provider. God is bringing you a provider. I'm hearing it. God is bringing you a provider. Well, like, God is saying it over and over again, that God is bringing you a provider. I will show you. I said that there's going to be signs. You're going to know. You will know. Look, here. God is bringing you a provider. Okay? Same energy. God is bringing you a provider. And you will know them when you see them. I'm feeling like it's gonna feel magical. It's like you're gonna just know. You're gonna just know. God is bringing you a provider who can love you properly, and you will have no worries. And with this true love, this true love will overcome any obstacle. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all we could ever ask or think, I think is the point to the reading here. In God we trust. Oh my goodness. I did not expect this reading to be like this. It's like so, like, that's a home run right there. I kind of drilled that one home. Like, it's like, God is like, I'm going to reiterate this a few times for you. I'm going to reiterate that a good solid 3 times. We're going to reiterate this unmistakably. God is bringing you a true provider love. Wow. I'm like so surprised at how this reading was so on point, accurate, like right to the point. Like, I have total confidence in this reading. Just okay, I have complete confidence in this reading. Wow. Okay, well, I suppose that these were the messages for today that we needed to hear. Let's see. And I hope y'all enjoy y'all's day. Happy Aqua 19.